I need to come collect these seeds.
From our Malabar spinach, yes. Yeah. Wonderful stuff. Now I want y'all to notice something. Mama's come out here to feed them, and they didn't yell at her like they yell at me. That's not fair. Twirl around, Greta. Give it the big old twirl, big girl. What are you doing high stepping over there?
Pig.
You see him?
He's in the barn.
Oh, is he? Hey, Biggin, you want some grub? Let's go, Big Pig. Dude, you are a sleeper and a half. Hey, Big Pig. Whoops. Come on, Big Pig. Let's eat. Oh, he heard you. Here he comes. So give me a chance to wake up. He said, I will be happy to eat. You just tell me when and where. I told you, he got to where he doesn't do it. There you go. Now, see, he does it just for you, I swear. He does not do it for me. Well, I know, but he comes over and starts eating the goat food when I do it. He acts like he doesn't know where he's going and he starts eating the goat food. And she likes to eat their food. But you know what? She's never got her horns caught in that thing, which is hilarious, I think.
Look at my chives. That's exciting.
Looking good. What was that?
Asparagus.
Asparagus. The herbs still hopping along.
As happy as can be. Lettuce looks good. And we've got some kohlrabi that we can probably pick this evening.
Cool. That's our fennel, right? Those.
Yeah, this is fennel.
This is the stuff we let the butterflies eat up, and it's still doing good.
It should flourish through the winter.
We're definitely going to plant that in other places for the fun of it, for butterflies next year. You look like Michael Jackson with one glove. Just seeing what might still be out here. I can't believe some of this grew while it was cold.
Yeah.
I mean, they're small and everything, probably not ready, but
we'll probably feed this to the chicken.
But I can't believe they're still growing. That's the thing. I mean, look at the plants, y'all. The plants are, but there's still squash growing on them. Look at that one. That one's funny looking. Look at that.
Some of these I just didn't see.
Yeah.
But look here. I don't know what these were called.
Wow, what is that?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Where did that come from?
It's a volunteer.
I didn't know it was in there.
I didn't either.
Is it a type of squash or something? Winter squash?
Some kind of winter squash. So what happened? The reasoning behind what we did.
So what had happened was...
What had happened was we amended our soil.
Yes.
And then knowing that we're going to plant in the spring, we wanted to make sure the amendment worked.
Yeah.
So I planted stuff that I knew that once, if it was going to grow, we would be able to tell if the soil was okay or not.
So you might want to mention to them what we talked about last night when you talked about the stuff we got from the other guy that we thought was contaminated. It might have actually been something different. What did you think?
So I'm wondering if it wasn't just too hot.
Like it had not finished composting yet?
Finished composting because I scraped a good amount off.
Yeah.
But then I added in our goat barn stuff, and goat manure and rabbit manure are cold manures. So you can add those in and use them immediately. So once we did that and planted, everything took off and we didn't have an issue.
So hopefully that might have been the problem. We're not looking at maybe chemical contamination.
Yeah.
That means we still have hope for a good spring then.
Absolutely.
All right, folks, well, we've gotten all the stuff pulled out of the garden that needs to be pulled out. All the pumpkin vines are gone. They're all sitting next to the compost bin, getting ready to mix in with some browns as soon as we decide to rake them up. So anyway, we've gotten everything pulled, and we're gonna get these beds, start getting these beds ready for spring. You can see a few ideas that we're trying out right here to see how that looks and see what we can grow on them. No, nothing's secured, so yeah, I know it's just sitting there. So all of our stuff that likes the cold weather is doing okay. Got some little broccoli heads coming up over here. I don't know if you can see them. You can see one right here. They're coming, yay. And then we have,
This is Russian red kale.
okay. There's some Russian red kale. What kind of kale did you call this?
This is just curly kale.
Curly kale, yum. And then right here, we have our cabbages.
And
there's a good one right there.
Purple kohlrabi.
Purple kohlrabi. How cool is that?
There's a good one right here.
Yeah, you can see it right there. Isn't that neat? All right, over here we've got some cauliflower.
Snowball cauliflower.
Snowball cauliflower. We don't have any cauliflowers yet, do we?
No, I don't see any. Not yet. And
Not
I've
yet.
got Swiss chard back there that's not doing very well.
Yeah, it's probably because of the pumpkins, but there's some Swiss chard out there. It's trying to come up. I'm trying to keep my finger out of the thing. And then right here on the end, we have
Purple cauliflower.
purple cauliflower. And they probably just need some space to grow because I'm pretty sure the pumpkins were covering them like crazy.
Yeah.
But as you can see, all of these beds are empty now. All the pumpkin vines are gone. We oddly enough still have sunflowers. They seem to be pretty hardy, believe it or not. This one's just now showing a little bit of sign from the cold, but it's still green as can be. I think it's crazy. Got another one right here that's still growing. Who knew? Okay, so what I want to show you right here is not Mamacita warming herself with the fire, but I wanted to show you this fire pit because we are burning some old wood that we have from when we cut down one of our trees. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to burn this down as low as we can, trying to get some charcoal and trying to get some ash out of it. Right now I'm primarily concerned with the ash, and what we'll do is we'll try to burn it down, show you what the end result looks like, and we'll show you what the we'll try to burn it down, show you what the end result is as far as ash is concerned, and then we will tell you about storage and what we're going to use it for when you use it with your garden. So stay tuned for that important part. Okay, I'm standing outside my compost bin here that we put together, and you can see this is the stuff we did the other day in our video, and now I've got some greens to add to it. Now I have a lot of greens here, and these should break down rather quickly, but I need to add a lot of brown to it before I put it all in here because I'm going to layer it, but I don't have enough browns raked up yet to start this. This is all the green stuff that we pulled from our garden, the pumpkin vines, the squash plants and stuff like that are finally just not producing because of the cold weather. Even though I did find a couple of really big zucchinis in there. But this is where we're at right now. We're going to add this stuff to the compost bin. We're going to rake up some browns, maybe go to the park and rake up some browns, stick it all in here, and we may remove that stuff right there because it's almost ready, and we may add that to some of the beds right now during the winter time, and then we're going to go from there. So it's looking good. Just use all your scraps and stuff, y'all. Don't throw it away. Letting all this stuff burn down. I'll tell you what, folks, this is addicting. I enjoy sitting out here by the fire. Fun stuff. Okay, so y'all, want to show you, I'm just letting the fire burn down and down and down. And what you're seeing, you can see it in the dark, all that white stuff down there, that's my ash that I'm slowly collecting from all this stuff burning. This is burning probably since, 4 o'clock this afternoon or so. We've had a couple of 2 or 3 big logs on there. We're just letting them burn down and get as much ash as we can. And hopefully tomorrow, which will be Sunday, I'll come back and show you some of the ash that we've collected. Okay, well, it's later at night. I've let this thing burn and burn and burn. And finally, we're at the point where I think we have some usable ash. I have a few little embers in there still, but we're going to check this thing in the morning, and we're going to see how much we got. Well, good morning, everybody. It's the next day, and now we're going to check and see how our fire pit ended up and see what our ash looks like. Okay, so here's our ash in our fire pit. I'm not going to stick my hands down in it because if you look right here, that's still a little pinkish red, which means that's hot. So I'm not going to touch that. But there's our ash right there, and I'm going to dig some of it out, and I've got a little place, a little container I'm going to put it in, and then and then we'll talk a little bit more about how you use ash in your garden. That is charcoal, and that's what we're going to do in the next video. I haven't made charcoal before. A little bit harder than making ash, I would assume, but give you an idea what it kind of looks like. Welcome back, folks. Now it's time for us to finish our discussion on wood ash and why we're doing it. So wood ash is generally used to add nutrients to your soil, but it really only adds certain nutrients and it really only has certain uses. So we won't actually use it everywhere in our garden. So let me start off by saying all of the wood that we are collecting to burn for wood ash is from a tree or from brush and stuff that is basically around our yard where we live. And that is actually one thing that is recommended when you burn your brush or trees or stuff like that, that you use things that grow in your local area. It is also recommended that you do not use stuff like treated lumber or anything that might be associated with trash or garbage or anything like that, or may have chemicals, paints, different things in it, because that can actually leach into your soil maybe even after the stuff is burnt, or it could be toxic when you burn it. I mean, it's just not safe to use those things. And if you'll notice, I'm not actually using any lumber from my pallets either. All of my pallets are supposed to be kiln dried or heat treated, but just because there's the off chance that something may not be, I don't want to use those pallets either as my wood ash. So basically I'm just using some trees that we've cut down and some brush that we've tried to clear out. The most common nutrient that is derived from wood ash is calcium, and that can actually be up to about 20% of the wood ash, of the nutrients that is gained. In addition to that, the second most common is potassium, and you'll hear this phrase used commonly, potash. Well, that's actually where the phrase comes from. The phrase comes from the combination of potassium and the words wood ash, so you get potash. And you can get up to about 5% potassium from wood ash. Now there are other elements that you can get from potash or wood ash, and some of those are magnesium, phosphorus, and sulfur at about 2%. And then you can also get trace amounts of elements like iron, aluminum, magnesium, copper, and boron. Now, it doesn't only just give nutrients to the soil, it can actually be used for another purpose. The other purpose is to use it with acidic soil that might be too acidic for your plants. One thing that it does, it actually will raise the pH of your soil so that it will actually be more alkaline. So if you have plants that don't like very acidic soil, then you definitely want to add some potash to it. Primarily if you have plants that require acidic soil or low pH, you're not really want to use a lot of wood ash or potash. If they do like a high soil pH, and I have a chicken behind me, I was wondering what that noise was. If they do like a high soil pH, then you're generally want to add a little bit of potash and stuff to it. You just don't want to add so much potash that you're changing the pH of your soil and causing your plants to suffer. When you apply it, the recommendations that I've seen online recommend around 15 pounds per 1,000 square feet. But then again, you really want to have your soil tested to see what the pH is, to see what minerals you need before you use the wood ash or potash, because then you can kind of have a better idea of what your soil requirements are for those specific plants. And commonly, plants that like the same soil pH are going to kind of be grouped together anyway. So then you'll know to put like maybe a little bit over here and maybe not very much over here for a plant that doesn't like alkaline soil or anything like that. So you just want to try to make sure that you kind of know what you're putting in and where you're putting it. And chicken, you're driving me crazy. I don't know how he got out. Now let's see if there's anything else. And one thing you want to make sure you do is that you sift through all of your ash and get all of the extra stuff out of it. Like I had extra pieces of wood and stuff that hadn't completely burned, and then had a lot of chunks of charcoal. And you can tell the difference between the charcoal and the wood because they feel different and they sound different, especially when you rub them together. It kind of sounds, I don't know, kind of like glass, I think, when the charcoal touches each other. But you want to sift those things out, and these actually have another use in the garden, different than what the ash does, and we'll talk about that in the next video when we start to make some of our own charcoal. Now, you listen to the things I'm telling you about ash, and you kind of like, well, why do I want to use that on my garden? And it sounds like it's kind of complicated. Well, the thing is, it does help your garden if you know how to use it and how to apply it. The main thing is, it's free. I'm just using old brush and old tree limbs and things like that I have laying around. sitting in a fire pit made out of bricks that were just laying around in the yard. You can make this source of nutrients for your plants for nothing. You just got to light it on fire. If you want to give it a shot, if you want to try it just to see if it helps your plants out a little bit, then get you a little fire pit. Burn you a little bit of wood. You can even use like a little chimenea or something like that, and just save that ash up for next spring, and we can use it and apply it to our beds, and we can see what happens. It'll be a lot of fun. We just want to let you know how much we appreciate you watching Everyday Wonder Homestead, and we hope you like and subscribe. You hit that notification bell. Share us on social media with your friends. We can't tell you how much we appreciate it. We're hoping to do a lot more stuff this year, and we're super excited about the possibilities that God's set in front of us. So thank you very much. We love you guys. Y'all have a blessed evening, and we will see you on the next video.